What's going on, everybody? I'm Ken Killdale, lover of all things morbid, macabre, and horrific, and if you are too, then grab your cheese graters and fuck up the like button. I saw Evil Dead Rise last night. Let's talk about it.
Groovy.
The movie opens up and right away you know, you go walk into the fucking theater and you know what you're in for, but you know, we get that sick fucking opening. It's so good. Sort of reminiscent of the opening of Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead from 2013. In just the sense that it's a killer opening scene. And it's not so much as brutal as 2013's Evil Dead opening, but it has this, just the fucking visuals and shit are so sick. You meet these new characters that are essentially throwaway characters, but it's all good. Side note, actually, the part in the beginning when the friend who's possessed on the bed is laying on the bed sick, and the girl sitting there reading Wuthering Heights. When she starts reciting lines from the book without even looking at it, like sitting up on the bed, and you hear the voice coming out of her, and you only see the back of her, and she's like reading the lines from Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Holy fucking shit. Super cool. I don't know, something about it just is so fucking creepy. I think that was fucking perfect. Basically, we see some fucking gnarly shit go down. The chick gets her fucking scalp ripped off. I really enjoyed the look of the Deadite in the beginning of the film. I think she's fucking crazy looking. I love the way that the cuts on her face from the drone that she smashes into her face and flies into the lake. I love when she fucking rises up out of the water like fucking Jesus. And then the fucking title card behind the fucking trees, mountains or whatever. So sick, visually fucking badass. Right away seeing that, I was like, okay, this is gonna be so fucking sick. But then, all of a sudden it's like one day earlier. What in the fuck can happen in one day? Is kind of like where my mind went. That's gonna lead from an apartment in LA, because we already know that that's where this is taking place, out to this crazy fucking nutty ass cabin out in the woods. Well, a lot of fucking shit happens, okay? And it's fucking brutal. So we pick up a day earlier. We meet our first main character, Beth. Not a groupie, but a guitar tech. It's a real fucking job. And she's in the throes of her own sort of inner turmoil and shit, because she's finding out that she's fucking pregnant. Just getting to know these characters. It's obviously going to be hard for her and her lifestyle. It's a tough thing. So she flies out to LA to go be with her sister and her family, and we finally, and then we meet the whole family. I really appreciated the family dynamic of Ellie and her children, Bridget, Danny, and Cassie. I thought that they were acted fucking really well. I thought that it really sold me that this really was like a real fucking family living in this little fucking apartment in LA. And we kind of get a sense that obviously this apartment is fucking run down. It is shit, and we find out that it's being knocked down in like a month. They still haven't found a place to stay. It's fucking chaotic. Goddamn, it's so different right away from any of the other Evil Dead films. It sets itself apart in just that aspect alone. But one of the cool things about it is that it's so similar because you still have that sense of you're fucking trapped. There's no way out due to the fucking earthquake that comes that rips a fucking hole in the fucking like basement garage thing or whatever, bottom floor garage, where the kids, they find that there's an old bank vault underneath. And inside the fucking bank vault, Danny fucking dumbass jumps down in there and finds these old fucking records and the book. Dude, really fucking cool take on it. Fucking awesome. I really appreciated the angle it was taken. And the way that the words were sort of read from the book, I thought were awesome, with the little turntable through the speakers. And dude, that whole scene when the fucking voice was coming out of the fucking PA and shit. From there, it fucking goes and it does not let up. From the moment that Ellie is hit by that force in the fucking in the elevator, it's just fucked from there. Let me just say that the score in this whole film is just done it's so beautifully. It's so good. It's haunting. It's really fucking startling. It's just really well done by Stephen McKeon. Stephen McKeon. I think is how you say his name. It's fucking awesome. It really gets that atmosphere going. It's so claustrophobic, and it really captures the essence, in my opinion. It was fucking awesome. This movie is basically, from then on, just full fucking throttle, nuts, brutal bloodbath extravaganza. It's fucking savage. It's awesome. It's just so twisted. Like Evil Dead should be. I think Lee Cronin obviously a very talented director himself, but he definitely took a note from Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead from 2013. How could you not? But the thing I really fucking appreciate about this take on Evil Dead, or this continuation, I like to think it's in the same world as Evil Dead from 2013. The thing I really appreciate about the way Lee Cronin approached this film is that, yes, we get that really savage brutality that we were presented with in Evil Dead from 2013, but he also brings back not too much, but he brings back a dose of the comedy from, Sam Raimi's Evil Dead films. And that was something that was just completely absent in 2013's Evil Dead. It was just completely absent. It was not there. This one has some comedy moments. For instance, just one thing, like the eyeball getting spit when Deadeye Ellie bites out homie's eyeball and then spits it into the dude's mouth and he chokes on it. Goes right into his throat and he chokes on it. Hilarious. Everybody in the theater was fucking cracking up. To hear that in a modern day Evil Dead movie was like, yeah, okay, cool. But it landed. It was meant to be fucking humorous. At least it came off that way. It was awesome. But the brutality was fucking still just so fucked. I won't go into too many specifics about some of the kills or some of the gore, I guess. It's all kind of a big bloody blur to me, honestly. I just saw it last night. But I was, and maybe because it was so hyped up from like early screenings and stuff, but I was really expecting more with the cheese grater. But it was brutal. It was gross. But I was kind of expecting more. I was like, oh god, like what happens with this fucking cheese grater? I need to know when it finally happened. It was awesome. The people's reaction behind me was just fucking priceless. People were just like, oh god. It was so good. It was goddamn. This whole movie was just. There was definitely people in the crowd that I don't think were really ready for what they were seeing. Which I don't know how that's possible. It's Evil Dead, but I do have to say that Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, she's probably the most. I mean, goddamn, dude, she's probably the most terrifying Deadite I think we have had. She is so fucking scary. Her facial expressions. I think I watched an interview where she said she took some inspiration from Jim Carrey's performances in some of his films. And I knew what she meant, like sort of his exaggerated facial expressions, the stuff he does with his mouth. And you can see that, knowing that, like having that knowledge going into the film, you can see it. But the way she does it is such an unsettling context. But you can actually see the inspiration there, but it's not it's not Jim Carrey. It's Alyssa Sutherland being a fucking demon, dude. And boy, is she good at being a fucking demon. She might be the most iconic Deadite yet. I know I'll probably get like pooped on for that, but she's so fucking scary. She is so fucking scary. That whole scene through the peephole, or that whole sequence, like anytime we're seeing action through the peephole, which again, there was some really funny moments there. But very terrifying, very fucking terrifying moments too. Anytime Ellie would come in to screen through the peephole in the doorway, she was fucking terrifying, dude. She's so fucking scary. She's so good. It's hard for me because my favorite Deadite has been Mia for so long. I saw Evil Dead, Fede Alvarez's movie, in theaters back in the day. And it left such a mark on me. Mia has been my favorite Deadite for a very long time. But she may be dethroned. I don't know. I need to see this a few more times and really let it sink in. But holy fucking shit, Ellie is so fucking brutal. So scary. She's so good. So good. Goddamn. In fact, the Deadites in this, in general, were really fucking savage. And boy, is there a lot of them. There's quite a fucking few. Deadites aplenty, man. Because holy shit, dude. Like, everybody... Granted, there's not a lot of people in this complex. This apartment complex is pretty much empty. because it's getting demolished in a month. But there's still like 3 other apartments that are occupied. Everybody becomes a deadite. Everybody fucking dies as well, pretty much. When they start to combine into that grotesque spider-like creature in the hallway and then crawl into the vents and shit, was absolutely terrifying. When Aunt Beth and little Cassie are escaping, that was some of the most high, like just so tense, so intense. The elevator starts filling up with blood and that fucking monstrosity's coming down from the top. So fucking brutal. That whole sequence was just terrifying. The whole ending was just, I mean, I was like on the edge of my seat the whole time. Of course, they got the nods in with the chainsaw and the shotgun, throughout. But the fucking ending is so gnarly with the wood chipper. For a minute there, I really thought, like, as they were going to escape through the gate, to get out of the parking garage, I really thought for a second that Cassie was gonna get fucking murked. I thought that Lee Cronin was gonna go there. I was like, oh my fucking god, dude, these other kids got totally obliterated. Is he gonna fucking kill off this little girl right now? I thought he was gonna go that far for a second. But Aunt Beth came to the rescue, and dude, that whole sequence with the wood chipper, or whatever I guess is a wood chipper, was just fucking gnarly. The way it then tied in to the opening scene was just awesome. I was waiting for it too. I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen here? Awesome. So this thing is just fucking unstoppable. When it all is said and done, I think that this was a great entry into the franchise. It didn't quite reach the level of the last film for me. It didn't beat out Evil Dead from 2013. In a lot of ways, brutality is one of them. But if Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead is a 10 out of 10 for me, which it is, I would literally put this at like a fucking 9. It would be so fucking sick if the next film could bring back Mia in some way. I think that the fans are here for it. People really fucking love her. And she's honestly a standout character in this franchise now. She, as far as I was concerned in 2013, at the end of that film, I was totally fine with her being like the new Ash. I was like, I'm cool with her picking up that crown, dude. Hail to the fucking queen, baby. I'm cool with that, dude. I'm here for it. I think a lot of other fans would be too. If we can see Beth meet up with Mia for some crazy post-apocalyptic shit, I'm here for it. In this film, we know that there's 3 copies of this book. There's 3 copies of this motherfucker out there, right? Well, we saw one in Evil Dead 2013, right? And we've seen this one, which is clearly a different book. So I'm wondering what that 3rd book is going to be. I don't necessarily think anything's going to connect back to Sam Raimi's original Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell. I don't think that. I really do think that this is a separate universe altogether. And if it's not, cool, I don't care. I would still be down for that to be canon to this universe. That would not ruin anything for me. That would be totally fine. But if they do, kind of keep it in its own stream of consciousness, its own little world, I think that another film would be so fucking good, and we need it, and it's gonna happen. I'm sure this film's gonna kill it. It's gonna kill it for sure. I don't know exactly what that movie would look like. Maybe that would be the one that introduces the 3rd book, and when that 3rd book is kind of like awoken, like these other 2 have kind of been awoken, maybe there will be some crazy fucking ritualistic shit that'll happen, and these fucking demons will converge, and some like big scale shit could happen. That would be kind of cool for an Evil Dead film, like really lead it up to that. That would be really fucking cool. I would love to see returning faces again, Mia or something, but that's neither here nor there. That's just thoughts on the future. If there was going to be another Evil Dead film, which I'm sure there will be, what would you like to see? Is that something you want to see? Would you want to see Mia come back? Would you want to see Bruce Campbell come back as Ash? Is that even a possibility, do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below. Tell me what like your perfect follow-up to this film would be. Also, did you even like this film, or did you think it was hot dog shit? I doubt it. But if you did, I want to hear why. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more from me, then go ahead and stab that like button, /subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Goodbye.